Arizona Congressman Raúl Grijalva is the co-chairman of the House Progressive Caucus. Congressman, thanks for joining us today. I want to play a little bit more sound from the president during his news conference, and I want to get your thoughts.
Thank you.
I do not see a path to a deal if they don't budge, period. I mean, if the basic proposition is it's my way or the highway, then we're probably not going to get something done because we've got divided government.
So how did he do you think here, Congressman? Is the president digging in his heels? Who do you think will blink first?
Well, I hope that on essential programs that Democrats have been supporting, that we feel have been the only things that have really been talked about, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, that I hope he does dig in his heels. There has to be revenue generation. The tax policies of the Republicans have got us into this mess, into this debt, and there is no job creation going on regardless of those tax cuts. We need jobs. That's the best way to get out of this crisis. That's the best way to offset the debt, and that has to be on the table. The concern many of us have is the predisposition is not to have a deal. The predisposition is not to sacrifice valuable, necessary, vital programs for the American people, and yet have the other side only willing to take and not willing to give.
So, Congressman, I mean, on that note, you brought it up, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. If those were to be put on the table and there were to be some changes in that, would your caucus feel like you're being abandoned by the president here?
To some extent, we've stated that we feel these programs need to be protected. We hope the president protects them. And it's not just a question of drawing a line in the sand. These are the only items that we've been talking about. Revenue generation. We in the Progressive Caucus have offered a plan to balance the budget, save those programs, and still start to take down the debt of this nation. None of those items have been put on the table, and we feel that as long as it's a one-sided, and which has been all this time, then of course we cannot support anything that sacrifices those programs.
So you support tax revenues, increasing taxes?
Enhanced revenues, closing loopholes, cutting military spending, looking at efficiencies in other areas, restructuring some programs, absolutely. But to say that we're going to only concentrate on those three programs that are vital is a big mistake, politically and fiscally.
I want to get your thought on this. So the GOP is saying, you've heard the argument, the GOP is saying this is the wrong time to adjust taxes, even increase taxes. We're facing a very difficult unemployment situation, 9.2%. What do you say to that?
Well, the unemployment has been high. There is no job creation. All this trickle-down economics for the last 10 years with the tax cuts and to both
saying it's a wrong time to raise taxes.
This is a time to generate revenue, invest it in job creation, real job creation that the government intervenes in. And once we have people working, the crisis that we're talking about and the default crisis that we're talking about will begin to be solved. Until we have jobs, there is no solution.
Now, it has been said that the president is in re-election mode. That was said by Representative Boehner on the Laura Ingraham show. Is he in re-election mode? Is that what we're seeing right now, looking forward to 2012?
Well, I think everybody wants the solvency of this nation protected. I think that's what the president's doing. The fact that there is reluctance of support on our side of the aisle, and certainly open resistance on the Republican side, I don't know if that makes it an election gamut or the president having a good faith effort to try to come up with a deal.
All right, Representative Grijalva, thank you so much for your time today and helping us understand what the president has said today in his brief